Don Mattingly joins us now. Donnie, I was told that you're not doing the interview with pants on.
Exactly. I thought that was part of the deal. And so I'm sitting here in the hotel room, fully dressed without pants, though.
Are you sending me the pants that you wore when you got tossed?
Yeah, because I need to send the mannequin too. So eventually we'll have the mannequin.
I have a mannequin.
There.
I have a mannequin that it's going to call the Mattingly mannequin here, and we're just going to dress. Every time you get tossed, you just send me an item down to your. You don't wear a protective cup, right?
No.
Okay, you don't.
No. It's going to be like that Major League movie, right? Where the girl, that lady, they keep taking the stuff off.
Yeah. All right,
we're putting it on.
Did you get your money's worth getting tossed this time around?
I didn't really feel like I was going to get tossed. Usually you can kind of tell when you have to, get out there, but you don't hardly go on the field anymore. And I was really just trying to make sure Kershaw didn't keep going and make sure the umpire went the other direction. So I had to distract him.
Have you ever gotten tossed because you tried to get tossed from a game?
Not really. I never go out thinking I'm going to get tossed. I think you always go out to protect your guys. Most of the time, if somebody strikes out or they're frustrated and they're arguing with the ump, and then you're trying to get them out of the way, and then something gets you irked a little bit, and then you just you go too far, I guess. But this one, I didn't think I would go because he threw me out for being too animated. I guess I didn't know I was part Italian, but it's funny because my wife says the same thing. If we're talking in the car, I use my hand. And she says, "Quit doing that. People think you're yelling at me." And I'm like, "Okay."
So you had a calming voice. You were just a little more animated, demonstrative, and so the perception is the umpire feels like you're showing him up.
I guess, yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, but I didn't. I used good language. I didn't feel like I used bad language this time, and I didn't think I was going to get tossed. I was actually leaving. Basically, we were talking about the balk, and I was like, "It's the same move that he uses all the time. Nobody else calls it." I say, "You're wrong," and I'm walking away, and he goes, "You're gone." I'm like, "Oh God." So here we go.
I'm looking at the video. It looks like, if I'm reading lips, there's a couple of BSs in there by you.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe there's a BS. That's not really bad language, is it? That's bull,
Yeah.
BS.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's not using the bad stuff.
What do you do?
It was fairly family-oriented.
What do you do when you get tossed?
Well, Milwaukee is good because the dugout and the locker room is kind of connected with just a short little walkway there. I can actually hear everything that's going on. I watch the video. Basically sit right there with the video guy the whole time and can watch every play, watch the replays, whatever's going on.
But would you get fined? You're not allowed to be a part of the game at all. You can't even relay messages, right?
No, you're not supposed to. And I don't, actually. Tim Wallach ran it. And, you go through the game before time. And you're going to kind of, how you want to be able to use your bullpen if you get to certain sections of the game and what guys match up here and there. So the game kind of tells you where to make the decision. So you kind of go through that before with the pitching coach, and the bench coach.
He's Don Mattingly, Dodgers manager, joining us without pants on, Dan Patrick Show. We had Pedro Martinez in studio yesterday, and he idolized you and Thurman Munson and Reggie Jackson. Like growing up, that the Yankees were that was his team, and he was just glowing about. He goes Reggie Jackson and Thurman Munson and Don Mattingly. Did you know Pedro was a big fan of yours growing up?
I did not. I didn't know he was a big Yankee fan. Obviously, I had a lot of respect for what he could do with the baseball, and. But no, I didn't. I did not know that. Reggie was my guy too. That's funny because Reggie was like a guy that I loved back as a kid growing up when he was with the Oakland, and I always wanted to meet Reggie. So it was cool meeting him.
You didn't face Pedro, did you? He was probably in Montreal when you were finishing up. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I did. Well, I don't know exactly when he started, but obviously he was pitching in '95, I would think.
Yeah, in Montreal.
That was that was my last year, and there was no interleague. Interleague started in '96, so I wasn't a part of the interleague at all.
Do you think, if I said you could make the choice, that we have the DH in the National League or we take away the DH from the American League? What do you think is going to happen?
I'll take it out. Well, hopefully nothing happens to taking the. I don't really. The National League is the game for me. I grew up my whole life playing in the American League, getting a chance to coach and manage the National League. For me, there's no comparison. I would take the DH out of the American League.
But there are a lot of guys who have. Can you imagine Big Papi if he had to play the field?
Yeah, but he probably would, though. There's certain guys that I've seen over time that have been able to stay healthier, and you see the DH as something that really helps. A guy like Big Papi, Paul Malter, for example, seemed like when I first was coming up, he was already a really, really good player. But he seemed like he got hurt a lot, and then we started DHing. It's like he never didn't seem like to get hurt anymore. Harold Baines was another guy that was really good, but that had the bad knees. The guy in Seattle, I can't remember his name right now.
Edgar Martinez.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable! But he was another guy that was banged up a lot. But you'd have to be able to play, and that's where your team has to sacrifice to get that bat in the lineup. You're not going to be as good defensively. Or, that guy can't play 7 days a week. And that's the difference in guys that can play every day, play the field. And that was the big argument a few years ago, remember, with A-Rod and Big Papi, who should have been the MVP. And for me, it was no comparison because A-Rod had to play the field every day. He's getting out there and it's 35, 40 degrees. He's having to fight the weather, come off the field, he's freezing, get gloves on, go hit, do his thing. Papi, in a sense, could be in the clubhouse riding the bike, staying nice and warm, go up there and take his hacks and back and get warm again. It takes a certain energy to play every day and play the field like that.
You've seen Madison Bumgarner, probably a little too much for your liking, but do you have a handle on him any better than you did last year?
No, definitely don't have a handle on him. He's just a handful, Dan. He can do so many things with the ball. Just a big, powerful competitor. He can get the ball into the righty. That gives you at a tough angle, and then now he's able to get the ball to the backside. He can shorten up his breaking ball in the inner half, slider, and cutter in there, and then he can backdoor it on the other side and throw the fastball away. You got a lot of weapons, and he's just tough to handle. He's a lot to deal with as a hitter.
Best team you faced so far?
Who have we played? We've been in. You go series to series. San Diego's got a good club. I think Milwaukee's got a good club. I know they've struggled, but they got good talent. When you start going through this lineup, when they get LaCroix back, they get good pitching. They got some talent. They got a good club. Giants are always the same for me. Those guys just don't go away. They're tough. They play hard. You feel like they're going to find a way. And I think they have a belief in themselves, obviously, and they should. They've won 3 out of 5. But when you play them, you feel like they think they're going to win. They think they don't know how, they don't know why, but they feel like they're going to win the game that day. And that's where they have an advantage to me over a lot of clubs. And that's the one thing as a team that plays them a lot. You got to beat it out of them. They're not going away. You got to continue to win. But you're not going to get them to go away. They're going to keep playing.
Would you be surprised if your team wasn't in the World Series?
Well, I'd be surprised if we don't get to the playoffs. That's for sure. And I think we're capable of going all the way. The playoffs are just a different animal. You never know what happens. One guy gets hot.
Yeah.
Last year, Madison gets hot. You face him twice in a series, in a 5-game series. It's just tough getting there. And so I'd be surprised if we're not in the playoffs. And I know we're gonna have the talent to be able to have a chance to play in the World Series.
All right, so it's the pants this time around. What's next when you get tossed?
I don't know. You need shoes? You got shoes? What size shoe you wear?
11.
We're close enough. 10.5. We'll go pants and shoes. I know you need some of those blue socks.
Yep. Yeah. Look, I'm dressing up the mannequin here.
I know. We'll take care of it. You know what? You're going to end up with just basically now jersey and pants. That's probably my last time of ever getting thrown out.
Oh, okay. Now, then we'll up the ante. The next time you get tossed, I want you to wave as you walk off the field to me. Just because you know that it's going to cost you everything else that you're wearing.
Yeah, well, because then I'm wearing my Dan Patrick pullover. Now that you stand. I was supposed to get a hoodie, but I guess your guys' budget just only gets the pullover. You can't get the hoodie.
Fritzy, can you get Donnie Baseball a hoodie?
Yes, it's long overdue, and we apologize for that. It's taking way too long to get.
I do have a nice pullover now. That is nice with the zipper and everything. But the hoodie, you gotta keep the ears warm when you're down there walking. Gotta stay warm.
I will get you the hoodie out today.
All right.
Yeah, you can wear it in Milwaukee.
Like
yes. Thank you, Donnie.
All right, Shane. Good to talk to you.
All right, Don Mattingly, Dodger manager.